Hi Year 9, welcome to our last lesson in our series of lessons on British protest. Today we're going to be having a look at something a little bit different, something a little bit more modern. But first of all, I want you to have a look at the following statement. So from September 2021, all pupils aged between 11 to 18 must attend school from 8 till 5 Monday to Friday. Pupils must complete community participation on a Saturday between 9 to 12, so you're going to have to come into school on a Saturday now as well. The only lessons taught will be maths, English and PE, nothing else. And pupils must have their own resources. Schools will no longer provide books, pens or pencils, etc. So imagine if that was actually happening, how you would feel and what you'd feel the need to do. Write down some ideas on what you would do if that actually happened, okay? I'm going to suggest that you pause and do that now. So some of you might have said that you might feel a bit angry, you haven't been consulted, you haven't been asked about it. Some of you might feel that you don't want to give up your Saturdays, that you don't want to stay till 5 o'clock, that you like other subjects, like history might be your favourite subject, for instance, I don't know. But some of you might want to do other subjects other than maths, English and PE. How would you feel about that and what could you do? Well, there's lots of different avenues available, but what we're going to think about today is striking. So we're going to look at why people go on strike. So have a think now, as that's giving you a bit of an idea, but put some bullet points down for me as to why you think people would go on strike. Why would they refuse to do their job or refuse to do something? Why would they go on strike? So again, pause the video and have a go. So you might have done that now and come up with some reasons like they're unhappy with their place of work, they're unhappy with their working conditions, they're unhappy with the way they're being treated. Okay, lots of different reasons as to why people would go on strike. This is from a particular strike. Now what I want you to do is fill in this table, okay? You can just do this in bullet points in your book or on your computer, however you'd like to do it. Think about what you can see, think about what is happening and what questions you might have, okay? So that's your first task. I want you to look at that picture, what can you see, what do you think is happening, and what questions do you have? I'm going to suggest that you pause the video and do that now. So hopefully you've done that and you've seen that there seems to be some kind of skirmish going on, okay? Now, again, you can sort of see that there's some kind of violence going on, can't you? As we've seen with a lot of other protests, but in particular with the police, okay? This is called the Battle of Orgreave, right? It's where the miners in the miners' strike went up against the police. Now that's what we're going to be looking at today. The miners' strike, 1984 to 1985, okay? So, what we're going to look at today is, what do you think was the miners' strike of 1984 and 1985? So what I want you to do is, it says here turn to the person next to you, but obviously you can't do that. But what I want you to do is have a think about what you think the miners' strike was, okay? Then what I want you to do is watch this YouTube video, so click on the link and go to it for me. And then I want you to have a think about who was to blame for the strike. Was it fair to close down the coal mines, and how would you have reacted in a similar position? So I want you to watch this video and then come back to me, okay? So if you could pause the video and do that now, because hopefully you've got a good bit of information from that video, you've managed to write some stuff down. So what is a strike? I want you to have a go here at filling in the gaps. So you've got the ideas, I want you to write this paragraph out and fill the gaps in, okay? Have a think about what a strike actually is. So strike action, often simply called a strike, is a work something caused by the mass something of an employees to work. A strike usually takes place in response to employee something. Strikes become important during the something revolution, when mass labour became important in factories and something. In most countries they were quickly made something, as the factory owners had far more political power than something. Most Western countries partially striking in the late 19th or early 20th centuries. Okay, so the answers to our fill in the gaps are here. So strike action, often simply called a strike, is a work stoppage caused by the mass refusal of employees to work. A strike usually takes place in response to employee grievances. Strikes became important during the Industrial Revolution, when mass labour became important in factories and mines. In most countries they were quickly made illegal, as factory owners had far more political power than workers. Most Western countries partially legalised striking in the late 19th or early 20th century. So there's your answers, okay? So hopefully you've got those down. So in 1984, the British National Union of Mine Workers, or the NUM, went on strike to save the coal industry from the closures threatened by Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, who was politically opposed to the state-owned industry and determined to crush the unions. So she was determined to not be spoken to by the unions, not be sort of dictated to by the unions. She was determined to close them. The strike went on for a year. and the miners' families had to survive on handouts from other working people who supported their stand. However, by employing riot police to intimidate their communities and importing coal from Eastern Europe, the government broke the unions. Over the subsequent 10 years, the Conservative government dismantled the entire industry. So what happened in Ponta de Lais? I want you to read through these now. I'm not going to read through these myself, but I want you to have a look at them. This is some evidence from people in Ponta de Lais, okay? I want you to read through these yourself on the PowerPoint attached, okay? And take some notes about what happened in the strike in Ponta de Lais. What I then want you to do is, I want you to either imagine you're a striking miner or a member of government who does not like the strike, and I want you to design a campaign poster expressing your views. Now you can do some extra research here to help you. BBC Bite Size, BBC History is really good for giving you a bit of a history of the miners' strike, okay? So design a campaign poster with some information on expressing your views, okay? And once you have done that, we're completed. Thank you very much.